What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of CMA Podcast. How is everybody doing? I am back once again with Marcus, the Irish hand grenade Davis. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, buddy. Thanks for having me on again.
It's a pleasure, man. You're looking well. You're looking very strong.
Yeah, thanks.
So, you had your, I guess would you call it a comeback fight, or was it a once-off fight back in November, and you got the W?
Yeah. It was, it was for me to. I was originally going to do a 3-fight deal with this company, and obviously that's been derailed because of the stuff that's happened since. But yeah, I was gonna, come back, and originally the guy. So I had 2 different opponents before this opponent that were ranked guys that were ranked in the New England area and stuff like that. And then they pulled out, and then I ended up getting this guy at the almost like last minute. Had the fight, and then, as you know, shit went downhill as soon as that. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, man. Well, that's the reason I reached out to you, because I think I said this earlier. It's a controversial topic. It's a topic that is in all industries, in all walks of life, unfortunately. But you fought as per your contract. You did your due diligence as a businessman. Unfortunately, since then in November, you have not seen a dime of what you were supposed to be paid.
No, nothing, zero. And in order for me to even fight, just my medicals alone were almost $3,000 just for me to fight, because once you get to be 35, they put more stipulations on your medicals, and then they do it again when you turn 40, and they do it again when you turn 45, and I'm 48. So I had to go through a bunch of crap to get, and then there was a issue with my MRI that the first one was ordered. They had, screwed up because they put some information on the MRI that shouldn't have been on there. They basically broke some HIPAA law, and they put some stuff on there. So then after having them do the MRI, then this commission said that MRI was no good. So I had to pay for another one. And so just everything was like crazy to just get this fight finished and done for. And then, after the fight, the fighters received their checks, and my understanding is 4 of the fighters' checks cleared, and then the other was it I don't know, maybe 10 other people or whatever it is, none of their checks cleared. It came back when I tried to deposit mine. It came back that the account was frozen. And then after talking to the CFO, his name's Kamir, after talking to him, he made some statement to me about them going public, and that the person who bought into the largest amount of shares or something like that had ties to terrorism or something like that, and that the Fed took the account. And I really didn't understand the whole thing. And then after he told me that, I kind of mentioned it, and then in some of the interviews that I've done concerning it. And then the CEO, the female that owns the thing, her name's Karen, and she reached out to me, or sent me a message telling me that she was going to sue me for defaming her company by saying that she had ties to terrorism or whatever. I don't know. And this is what's her CFO that told me that. And so I got caught in this whole thing. And so then I to try to get this taken care of, I knew that she had to have a bond, and she has a $50,000 bond that the commission has. And I'm like, well, this will work. I'm just going to talk to the commission and they'll take her bond and they'll pay all the fighters out with that bond. And so I attended the commission meeting via like Zoom. It was a video meeting and they wouldn't even let me speak about it. Like I brought it up and then they said, well, this is under investigation. And I'm like, doesn't have to be under investigation. All you got to do is take her bond and pay us. Like that's what it's there for. And commission did nothing. So to try to get them to force their hand, I wrote to the attorney general, and the attorney general wrote, his office wrote back and told me that they couldn't help me and that I had to go through all these other bullshit stuff. So I'm just getting jerked around everywhere right now. And so I don't know. I'm guessing what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take every single person's name that runs or works for the Massachusetts Athletic Commission where the fight was held and the attorney general and all of that, and just make a big post or something, just talking about how, they're not doing their job. So, all this could be over. All they had to do is pull her bond and this is all over. And for whatever reason, they're not doing it.
Yeah, man, it sucks. I'm very, very sorry to hear that you got to go through this. I watched the meeting, the public forum meeting, and it was very dismissive. It was almost as if someone was eating a candy bar and you can hear the plastic crackle in the back, the host meeting. They were trying to stop people from saying things based on a prejudicial, I guess, like ongoing investigation, the nonsense stuff you hear in Congress. Right. And, you got to speak and they were just kind of like, all right, and then move on, and then move on, and then move on. And that sucks because this is a real issue. You fought as per your contract. You didn't get paid as per your contract. And who do you take it to? You take it to the next forum. And what do you got there? You got a few people in suits probably who are getting paid a lot of money and are inconvenienced when now they got to do their job. I don't know if what they're saying is true, but if it's under investigation, they got to keep you posted. They got to keep you in the loop and say, this is where we're at right now and we're getting to the end of it.
Yeah, they're not doing anything. So they haven't tried, they haven't reached out. I've had to pull, like, I got a friend who was on the commission up where I'm originally from, which is Maine. And he helped me by writing to them too. And so I've had people help me out by trying to reach out to them and contact them. And they're not doing anything still. They're just, it's very frustrating. And, I don't want to make enemies out of the commission either, but I will, I'm not going to walk away from this. I'm going to keep on it. And, and they should, they should be shamed. Like the commission, the attorney general, that this is what they're there for, right? They start a commission to make sure nothing happens to the fighters, that, they're there to make sure that, the well-being of the fighter is taken care of. Well, none of our well-being was, because we all completed our duties that contract said to do, and we didn't get paid. And they're trying to silence us when when we want to talk about it by saying it's under investigation. That's not good enough. Like telling me that it's under investigation, and now we're going into, and today's the 3rd. So, we've got less than about 2 weeks, and we're going to be, 90 days that nothing's happened. So, I'm not happy.
That absolutely sucks, man. It as a fan, as I sit back and watch it unfold, it sucks. To see you in such, like, not your demeanor, it's just a sad situation to be in. And I think maybe from your perspective, tell me if I'm wrong, but this could happen to some young, excited prospect who could get shunted from MMA because he could be in your position and he could be 21 years old and just not business savvy, not doing his due diligence when it comes to the contract. Some people just don't even read the contract. They just sign. And it's just like when you look towards the next level of that form, which is the Massachusetts State Athletic Commission, and they just kind of brush it to the side the way they did. And I saw the email that you screenshotted and sent as well. And it was just a case of, well, it's nothing to do with us. You've got a contract with them. You got to hire a lawyer. That's going to cost you money. And that's probably going to come out of that check that you may or may not even get.
Yeah. Yeah. And, the only thing I could really do, which wouldn't cost me any money, is file a claim with small claims court, which is what I'm going to end up having to do. But that, again, is going to take, it's going to take forever to get that money. So, and granted, I don't care how long it takes, I'm still going to get it. But it can be it just can be taken care of because they've done it before by just taking the bond. That's all they got to do. That's it. And this whole thing about it's under investigation, who cares? I don't care. Take the bond, pay everybody out, and do your investigation. Because either way, it's her bond, it's her money, it's the promoter's money. So that's all they got to do. And I don't know why they're not doing it. So it makes me makes me start to think, what's going on with this commission, where you're right, if it's that easy that they can just do that and take care of it and then do your own investigation and look in on her, that's what they should do. And then they don't even have to worry about me and the other fighters. We just will disappear because we got taken care of. And then they, have their way with her, but again, nothing.
I wonder who got paid. I wonder, was it the little guys, like as in small amounts of money, or was it the guys that are dangerous?
No, so the guy, my opponent, he got paid. And from what I understand, it was only 3 other people. And then the rest of the fighters that were on that card reached out to me and told me that they didn't get paid, so that they had the same issue. So as far as I know, it was only 4 people got paid, and then the rest of the card didn't.
God damn it. That makes no sense at all. And what's more frustrating is the fact that she's buried her head in the sand and isn't getting back to you. Because if this was a case of, if it was genuine, if it was like, okay, I'm going through all this stuff now, potential links to terrorism, I don't have the money, but I'm going to get you the money, I'm going to stay in contact with you, we're going to resolve this, then you can kind of see, all right, we got a problem here. But she's buried her head in the sand.
Yeah, she's done absolutely nothing. All she's done is she has sent me threats that she's threatened to, I'm like, you're going to, she sent me a threat saying that she was going to hire an attorney to come after me. And I'm like, you're going to hire an attorney after you just gave me this speech? Like, she just told me that she's been kicked out of her house, that she's getting divorced from her husband. She's telling me all this shit that's going on with her, which has nothing to do with me, has nothing to do with the fight, and how bad off she is and all this stuff. And then comes through and says, and if you talk about it, I'm going to sue you. And I don't know, I tell you, the promoters are the biggest scumbags. And, and so, like I said, I was like, I'll come out and I'll do these 2 or 3 fights that I was going to do. And now obviously I won't fight again. I just want to get my pay from her or from the commission and just disappear again, because I have no interest in dealing. This sport is just such, just attracts the worst people, unfortunately. That's why I left boxing. I left boxing and I went to MMA because I felt like MMA was so new that all those scumbags wouldn't be deep into it at that time. And, and then it became really popular, and then they'd come crawling out of their holes, and that's what happens. And that's what, and I'm telling you, man, like, I have so many screenshots. Like, it took this woman 6 years to get me to come out of retirement and fight for her a card. And then all the crap that I went through trying to, communicating with her on the way through this. And she tried to pull a couple of fast ones with my contracts. And, I don't know, like you said, a lot of guys don't read them. And I immediately went back to her and I said, listen, this contract's not right. You don't even have the correct opponent's name on it. And then she sent me a contract right after that she lowered my purse by $3,000. So I contacted her again and I said, listen, this is bullshit. I don't know what you're trying to pull, but you just sent me this and it's $3,000 less than what we agreed upon. So, if you're going to keep fucking with me with this, we don't even have to do this fight. She was like, oh, sorry. I didn't even realize that, which is all horseshit. And so then by the time we finally got all that through and I got the contract signed and got, everything okay, all they kept doing was, telling me how great it was to have me back and how great, everything was and all that stuff. And then, ever since then, all they've done is obviously avoid any contact with me. And, although I have reached out to them, I think one time since December, and, and that was the time where she then sent me a text saying that if I keep talking about this, that she's gonna file a lawsuit on me or whatever, right? If I keep telling the truth. So I don't care. She can try to do whatever. She ain't gonna win. Nothing's gonna happen. So, but all I care about at this point is that she isn't able to promote or do any fights again until this is taken care of. So we'll see.
Yeah, man. It's like when I was growing up, I used to watch a lot of Judge Judy, and there's like people who owe people money, and the person who owes the money would counter sue for harassment. And
right.
You're only being harassed because you owe the fucking money.
Right.
I wouldn't need to keep contacting you if you didn't just pay me the money that you owe me in the first place. So that all kind of still resonates, which sucks. And I've had people owe me money, and I've had business advice where they say the rule of business, never owe anybody money.
Right.
In circumstances like this, I wish and I hope to believe that it is genuine, that the links to terrorism is the holdup, and it's more of a didn't react the way I should have, instead of like addressing it. She buried her head in the sand. I'm still hoping that that's the case and that everybody just does get what they're due. But maybe this is a prejudicial question, and don't answer if you don't want, but will you get a lawyer now? What's the next step for you?
Yeah, well, so right now, I'm going to keep putting the pressure on the commission and hoping something comes out of that. I am going to file a small claims court, a case against her in small claims, and see if I can get anywhere with that at least. And then if I have to, I will talk to the rest of these fighters, and we'll have to hire an attorney altogether and have him represent all of us, and then sue her also for those attorney fees. So, sue her, we'd have to put the money up, I'm sure, up front as a group, and then also sue her for whatever fees we occur because of it. So
yeah,
it's the only thing I can think of right now. And I do have, like I said, a couple of people that are trying to help me out. But nothing substantial has happened yet. So.
Okay. Right. Well, I do hope that you make enough noise where they just try and make you go away and just give you what you're due. I don't know if you know the Bas Rutten story with, I think it's World Bare Knuckle Boxing Federation or World Bare Knuckle Fighting Federation. Not the bare knuckle boxing guys, but
right.
You know that story?
Yeah, I heard a little bit about it. Like he got involved with them and had like all this stuff kind of going on, and then they kind of like screwed like everybody over. Like there was a bunch of financial issues. I can't remember exactly everything, but I did
Yeah.
hear about it.
Yeah,
So,
that's where I thought this is a common tale now in MMA, but this investor was linked to terrorism. The assets and bank accounts were frozen, and Bass was dealing with the whole issue while that guy was in jail. So Bass was like, I've seen the finances. I know that this is all available. We're waiting for him to get out of jail, which is in like 6 months, but everyone will be taken care of. And according to reports, everyone was taken care of. I think they filed for bankruptcy, but the guy that Boss was dealing with said that it's not fair that we file for bankruptcy and these guys don't get paid. We're going to file for bankruptcy and I'm going to pay them out of my own pocket, which was good.
okay. Well, that's great. I don't think, I don't see that happening with this woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, I think she's going to try whatever she can do to not have to be responsible for anything. That's
Yeah.
what I think, because of the way she talks to me and the way that she, is just trying to not like just disappear, right? Like she's not saying anything, she's not doing anything. So, and this guy who's the CFO that works with her, yeah, he's not doing anything either. So, when the last time I talked to him, I gave him shit because I'm like, you haven't reached out to me, you know, for over a month. I haven't heard anything from you. So, you ghosted me. And then he was like, well, there's no reason for me to reach out to you if I have no new news, right? And I'm like, yeah, but, uh, if you, reach out to me and give me updates like, hey, this is where we're at and this is what's going on. And potentially this is where I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to do. And, nothing. So,
God, man.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that does suck. Well, you got to keep me posted. I'll keep my ear to the ground as to what is happening with that. But let's let's end this one on a positive note, because I know that you're really down about it, but you seem to be willing to take it to the next step and not just throw your hands up. Marcus, you fought the fight though, and you fucking did everything in your power to just, I mean, it was essentially the perfect fight. How were you feeling in the locker room before it?
I was fine. Yeah, I really had no I didn't have any of their pre-fight jitters. I didn't have anything like that. I was in the back room and I just felt really confident, and knew because I had been, I haven't fought right for like 7 years, and I spent this last 7 years, training a lot of other fighters and stuff, but spent a lot of that time for, with me, doing lots of like grappling. So I knew that if we stood up, I would end up knocking him out. But I think it would have taken me a little bit more time because he was tall. And if he decided to kind of run away from me, I would have been chasing him down and trying to catch him with some big shot to finish him. So it might have lasted a little longer. But I was telling everybody that, in my camp and everybody here, that what I thought was going to happen, because I watched all of his fights that I could find, was that he was going to try to take me down right off the bat. And I was like, if we hit the ground, I'll submit him really fast, because I'm just like so much, like it's light years ahead of him in grappling. Like, he's probably, like a basic blue belt level guy. And, and I've actually competed and recently, beaten world champions and jiu-jitsu world champions. So, and, then the last time I did, it was a much bigger, stronger guy than me too. And I still won. So I just felt I had a lot of confidence that if it hit the ground, I was going to finish him really quick. And so as soon as it did, I just, started setting up my attacks and stuff like that. And then he ended up putting himself right into the choke. So
Yeah.
that was it.
I don't understand. Like, I think you talked about this the last time you were on here. Like, you're known like Irish hand grenade. You're known for your hands. You're known as
Yeah.
a former boxer.
Yep.
Maybe he just didn't do his due diligence. He initiated the takedown. He caught you with a good teep at the start, but
Yeah.
you
That was
know,
him. That was funny. Yeah.
right to the gut. I'm like, all right, that I'm awake when you feel things like that. But he initiated the takedown. You got like straight into double underhooks with butterfly guard, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And then you just started like you got your full guard and started attacking. You got the arm bar. He slammed you out of that. And then you
When
just
he
wrap the
slammed me
leg.
out of it, he pulled his arm out, but it put him right in the choke. So,
Mhm.
um, and I felt his arm popped a little bit too. So he had that going on too. But yeah, I just like I said, like I've seen him, like every fight that I've watched him, he typically throws like a haymaker, then shoots in for a takedown. And if he gets the people down, he gets pretty wild with his punches and his strikes. And he doesn't really do a whole lot of like technical like work, like technical grappling work. He doesn't look like he's trying to pass anybody's guard. It looks like he just will sit in the guard and just throw a lot of bombs. And so, after watching that, and I could see opportunity where I would be able to get those underhooks and overhooks and stuff like that. And then, when we hit the ground, and I ended up going from butterfly guard to close guard, and then I used my feet on the cage to walk around and get my leg over his head. And set him up for the arm bar. And then, he, as soon as I locked it out and straightened it out, he kept, stood up and tried to shake it out, and that didn't work. So he decided to slam me. And as he did, he slammed me on the ground and he pulled out his arm. It just immediately went right into the choke. And I had it really tight. And I could hear him making a bunch of noises and stuff like that. And then when he tried to like pick me up and he couldn't, he fell over to the side. He fell on his
Yeah.
side and he was just tapping, and that was it. That's all it took.
There you go, man. It was beautiful to watch. I sent Premier an email because I was busy the next day and I didn't have like any option to get up and watch it, because over here in Switzerland we got like 6 hours on you guys. So I said, if I buy it, can I like stream it like the next day? And they never got back to me. So I sent your boy, is it Adley Edwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned him on the last podcast, and
Yeah.
I sent him a message, and I'm like, hey bro, give me some updates on Marcus. And he told me, and like a couple of days later it was on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Adley actually he literally just texted me maybe a minute before you and I got on here. It said that he was gonna come in tonight. He just got over COVID, so
Oh wow.
he's been out for about 10 days, so he's gonna be in tonight.
Yeah, you said to keep an eye out on that guy, and I checked out his social media. I'm like, this guy can fight.
He's super talented, and he's like one of the nicest people you can ever meet. Like, you never think he's a fighter. He's very, he's an intellectual. He's a college educated guy. He's, and he's just such a good guy. He just, you meet guys like that once in a while in the fight game that are, you just can't imagine them being like, how does this even fit, them being a fighter? He's kind of one of those guys, and he's super talented, and I think he's going to go really far in the UFC if they can get off their ass and get him in there, because they've offered him a couple of opportunities, and then things kind of went bad because he ended up blowing a shoulder out, so they had to cancel the fight that he was going to have, because he was going to fight on the Contender Series, and they ended up having to cancel it. And after that healed, they wanted him back again, and they said, well, you haven't fought for a while, so we need you to take a fight. he took a fight with a guy that just came out of the Contender Series and did really well. And Adley basically smashed him and took his belt, because we went to he's from Kentucky and he was the champion of that organization out there. So Adley went out there, took his belt, and just tooled the guy up, but broke his hand in the fight. So then the UFC said, "Hey, that's great, you did it. Okay, we'll go look for an opponent." And he's like, "Well, I broke my hand." So then we had to wait 8 months for that to heal. And then, it came back again. Then we're talking to them again. They're like, "Hey, yeah, it's now you've been inactive for, this time. We need you to take another fight." So anyways, it's kind of, a lot of bullshit. So hopefully, and this is me shooting low, but in the last 2 months, I know of 8 fights that he's had set up that have fallen out. So he's had 8 fights in the last 2 months that people have pulled out, and they've been, and these people that he's trying to fight are not, like journeymen or bums or anything like that. Like, he's called out and tried to fight guys that have fought in the UFC, and legitimate tough guys, and they all will agree at the moment. Comes time when the contract's getting signed, the promoters reach back out to him and say, "Hey, listen, the guy just said no. He just pulled out. He said he's found a better fighter or whatever." So, hard for the poor guy to get into the big show if he can't even get somebody to showcase his talents against right now. So
yeah,
I'll change.
I hear you. I hope he gets in though, man. I've been following him for quite a while. His posts are pretty cool. He's charismatic and funny, and I guess he's learning all the fight skills from you, so he can't be doing that bad.
Yeah, man, he's really good. He's sharp.
I love it. That's good for me today, man. Have you got anything else that you want to get off your chest?
No, I ain't got nothing, man. I'm just, hoping that this all works itself out, and I can just go back to doing what I'm doing, just training and people and working. So but we'll have to see what happens. And I'll keep everything up to date, and appreciate everybody who does follow me on social media and has been sharing the posts that I do about this whole debacle. So I'm going to this weekend make a larger post and put some names on there of these commission people that are not doing their job, and see if I can get people to help me out by trying to push and force their hand to do something. So we can go from there.
Absolutely, man. You just got to keep making noise until they want you to stop and go away, And if you ever need a platform, I'm growing, I'm getting bigger. I'm not where I want to be just yet. I'm getting there, but you're always welcome back on here, man. I love talking with you. As I said to all my guys who I have in the gym, I'm just like, UFC 93 is where it started for me. I bought tickets to see you fight Chris Lytle, and fucking look at me living in Switzerland, talking to you on Zoom. I'm like, this is pretty goddamn sweet.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. It means a lot to me. And I hope this podcast and everything for you just takes off, man. And, you have a great life, and whatever it is, all your wants and needs are met, and, you pass on a happy man.
There you go, man. Embrace the grind.
That's all we can ask for, so.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Guys, if you like what you hear and see, please do me a favor. Like the video, share the video, and hit the subscribe button. That's all I ask. I do not want you to put your hands in your pocket for me. Marcus, you're also welcome over here to do a seminar anytime you want. And I give you my word, you'll be paid before you get on the flight.
Yeah. I appreciate it, man. Maybe
awesome.
When all these lockdowns and this COVID shit goes away, I'll come back over. I've been over there before, so actually fought over there in Switzerland. Yeah, I fought in Sweden. I fought
same place.
David Belkaden. Yeah, not too.
All right, my man. You look after
right,
yourself.
Yeah, thank you for the time.
My pleasure, man. Have a good one.
You too, buddy.
Rockin'.